have all that information prior to them starting. So at our service, we send all that information away in the enrolment pack, and then the first day they start, they bring...
Is the other one back on charger?
Yep. Alrighty, okay, so we'll go on to the fourth bit of our training session, which is discussing actions and writing down an action plan. So this is something that you might want to do in your service with a child, is write down an action plan so that all the staff are aware of what to do when that child comes in. First of all, things that we might discuss with our parents, as we briefed on before, we might talk about our open door policy. So most early childhood centres have an open door policy, which basically means the centre's open door. So you don't just have to come in at 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock. You can come in at 11 o'clock and see what your child's doing. You can come in at 12 o'clock and see how they're eating lunch. You can come and spend half an hour with them in the morning. You can come and spend half an hour with them in the afternoon. You can stay for half an hour in the morning. So if you start work at 9 o'clock, you can come in at 8:30 and spend that half an hour with them, getting used to the service, or just, allowing them to settle in. Sometimes, though, it's not the best option. So it really depends on A, the parent, and B, the child. So you might have a child come in and they just cling to mum all the time. So mum's come in and said, I'd really like them to see them settling in, so I'm going to stay for half an hour or so to see, how it goes. But at the end of that half an hour, all that's done is made it worse, and the child's even clung even more because they know at any second that parent's going to leave. So sometimes, even though it is really quite distressing to the parent, and you'll notice it over a couple of weeks or a couple of months of the child settling in, sometimes it's best to just say to the parent, look, we really don't think this is working. It might be better off if you just come in, say goodbye, make sure you tell them that you're leaving, and off you go. And then you'll find that maybe instead of them taking an hour to settle down, they're only taking that short 10 minutes to settle down. So some parents don't like to hear it, but when then they see that their child is settling down a lot quicker and they've tried that method, it's a lot distressing for everybody. Ringing to check on the children, so also letting them know that they can ring to check on the child at any time of day. Like we discussed before, it doesn't matter if they ring 5 times or 100 times. You need to make sure that you take that phone call and take it every time, to reassure them. Just tell them what they've been doing, or I'm looking at the window at him right now and he's having a lovely time in the sandpit. It's really important to, like we discussed before, if there's a parent that's leaving and you can see that they're distraught and they might not feel confident enough to sort of ring, or they might feel that they're in your way or a hindrance, that you then make that effort to follow up on them. So you call them to let them know that little Joey, he's had his sleeps, he's had his bottle, he's having a lovely day, please don't fret, everything's fine. Because often or not they'll just sit at their desks or at their workplace or at home, shaking, what's he doing, where's he up to, and that they don't want to ring because they don't want to be a hindrance. So that's really important as well. So we're going to write down an action plan. So we'll just take down these. I said before, it might be feeding the class pet. So in our case, we have the fish. The fish get overfed every day because it's a distraction to the children. So the fish tank's inside. So as soon as little Joey turns up again, starts crying, Mum's, okay, we've got to go to work now, see you later. We usually say, come on, let's go and feed the fish. Tears stopped and they're running to the front door to get the fish. So often or not in an early childhood service, it might be just one thing. So can you think of any other actions that you might be able to do?
Taking them to their favourite toy.
Yep.
Or a friend.
Taking them to their favourite toy. Yes, that's a good one. And if you can't get to the toy, always allowing that you have those staff ratios covered. So making sure you're not leaving one staff member at the front with 50 children while you go to get this one toy. So a big important thing in that point is making sure, okay, I know Lukey's coming in today and I know he loves that big yellow Tonka trunk out the back in the shed. So before he even gets here, I'm going to go and make sure that I bring that out the front. So when he comes, I can distract him with that. Adam, what was yours?
Take them to a friend.
Taking them to a friend. Okay, that's a good one. Another good thing with that is that you'll just find, often or not, there's just one or two children that you can often say, and they're usually the bigger ones that have been, they're there 5 days a week, they know how it rolls, they know how the centre goes, they know every kid in that centre. So you can say to Riley, come on Riley, come and get Lukey and take him for a play to the sandpit. And not only does little 3-year-old love the fact that Riley, the 5-year-old's taking him for a play, he's suddenly distracted that mum's leaving as well. So I find that the older ones really like taking the young ones. But that's more of a preschool thing. So what if they're a little 9-month-old baby? What's some of the actions that you might take with a little baby that's come in as upset, clinging to mum, pinching mum, screaming? Obviously you have to try and get the baby off, but then what would you do with this baby that's just crying in front of you?
Distract it with a rattle or something like that.
Yep. Toys again. Baby toys. Rattles. In some of our other units you'll learn about sensory things, so babies just respond to anything sensory. So it might be, you might have goop out. Not that you're probably going to have goop out first thing in the morning, but sensory can also be anything finger play. So you might find some little puppets and play some little finger games, rhymes. And there's one game that we all know babies love. Everyone plays it.
Peekaboo.
You teach your children to play it. Peekaboo. Peekaboo. I think that with peekaboo, it's so familiar in the community and with people all together that it's something familiar to all babies. So the thing is, if you play peekaboo with a child down the street or next door, chances are that they're just going to start smiling because they know what it is, because somewhere along the line someone has already played peekaboo with them. So anything else? No? I'm trying to think. Get the fish, take him to toy. No, so a lot of it is really about, the main thing is about distraction. So distraction from the parent, taking them to a toy, a friend, sensory play, taking them to the fish. And once they're distracted and they've left, sometimes you will find that then once that distraction's gone, so once they've fed the fish and you come back out the front and they start crying again, that's when you just need to keep following them up with it. Keep finding another distraction. Come on, we'll go find Billy Bob and we'll make a sandcastle. Always reassuring the children, reassuring the parents. So reassuring the children, Mum will be back this afternoon. Another really big thing in these actions is talking about what's happening in the day. So you'll often find that a child that's old enough to speak will say, "Oh, Mummy, I want Mummy. When's Mummy coming back? When's Mummy coming back?" It's really important, and you can do this with visuals too, ensuring that you say we're going to have morning tea and then we're going to do some painting and then we're going to have lunch, and then we're going to have a rest, and after rest time, mummy's going to come back and get you. So reassuring them that after that rest time, or after afternoon tea, that's when mummy's going to come back. So you'll find that sort of when they get up after rest time, they might jump up and say, is mummy coming back now? Is mummy coming back now? And you can say, yes, she'll be back soon. So it's always about reassuring them that mum or dad's going to come back as well. Okay, now it's time for you all to have a go at some scenarios and what you would do. So I've handed you out some scenarios there, and we're just going to have a look at them. Andy, I can't find mine, so I'm just going to steal yours and you can share with Evelyn there. Okay, so we'll write the answers up on here. Scenario 1, little Billy walks in with his mother. His mother is holding his hand and standing back, and Billy is clinging to her leg. She walks through the door of the centre and stands waiting to be approached. What are we going to do?
Walk up and say, hello, how are you today?
Walk up and say, hello,
My name is
Name.
No, my name is.
little Billy.
I'm sure that's not his name.
To the child. You introduce
Little
yourself to
Billy
the child.
walks in with his mother.
You say hello to the child first.
You don't call him Little Billy.
Well, that's his name in the scenario.
Oh, God.
So maybe his first name's Little and his last name's Billy. Don't know. I've just heard of a baby called Bosco Nathan. You have heard of Stranger Things. Okay, what next? What are you going to
Get
do?
down to the
Introduce
child's
yourself.
level and
Introduce yourself. Down at their level. Yep. What did we just talk about?
Maybe comment on something about
What do you like?
wearing or
Who's distressed? The parent or the
I
child?
think it's both of them.
They're both
His
distressed.
mother is holding his hand and standing back. So the mother's standing
She's
back.
apprehensive.
So she's hesitant as well.
Yeah, so see, she's distressed as well.
So you need to-
Let's
you need-
pretend that you're the only educator there and the other ones are also, they're busy doing something else.
So you have to address both of them, not
Yep.
just
yeah.
the child.
What do you like to the child? So in between this, we'll probably have introduced ourselves to mum as well. So introduce yourself to the child and mum.
That's right.
I'm Heather and I'm going to be little Billy's teacher down the back, and I'm here on a Wednesday, Friday. Especially if you know the days that they're coming, often or not you might have to say, I'm here on Thursday and Friday, and when you come on Monday, Tuesday, you'll meet the other teacher. So it's really good to make them familiar with that, because if they turn up on Monday and they're like, I have no idea who's teaching my kid this day, who do I tell this to, who do I tell this to, and that can just build frustration for everybody. So, and that's when you get parents leaving, when they don't know what's going on. They're frustrated because they don't know who's with their child. Parents are coming in distressed, and that's when the children are going to be even more distressed. So continuity, it's really important. What do you like? Little Billy says, I like trucks.
Well, let's go find a truck.
Let's go find a truck. So distraction. Let's go find a truck. Would you like to come and find a truck with me? Often or not, you get those children that just do not like to be told what they're going to do. So it's better to say, would you like to go and find a truck with me? Would you like to come to the shed and find a truck with me? Would you like to come and pick a toy? So yes, in the meantime, hopefully mum or dad or carers already had an introduction of where to put their bag and things
Is this
like
the
that.
first time I've been to the centre?
Yes.